A new predator prowls the skies above the Pacific, one that is strikingly similar to America's premier air superiority fighter, the F-22 Raptor. The Chengdu J-20, China's first fifth-generation fighter aircraft, exemplifies Beijing's resolve to rival and outdo Western military technology. This aircraft, nicknamed Mighty Dragon, is more than just China's answer to the F-22. It's a product of audacious technological acquisition with Chinese characteristics. The J-20's remarkable similarity to the F-22 is no mere coincidence, but rather the fruit of a daring act of industrial espionage. The project's development was accelerated by classified information stolen from Lockheed Martin's secure databases by a Chinese national named Su Bin. Though he was caught and sentenced to nearly 4 years in federal prison, it didn't stop China from reaping the benefits of the theft as they set to work designing the J-20. Nevertheless, despite its outward resemblance to the F-22, the J-20's performance characteristics differ significantly. China's relative inexperience with stealth technology has led to skepticism about the aircraft's true radar-evading capabilities. The use of inferior radar-absorbent materials and coatings, combined with the presence of canards, suggests that the J-20 may not match the F-22's ability to operate undetected. However, the strategic implications of this technological gap remain uncertain. While the United States halted F-22 production with fewer than 200 units completed, China shows no signs of slowing J-20 production. Recent estimates suggest over 200 J-20s have been manufactured, surpassing the total number of F-22s. This disparity in manufacturing commitment could lead to a scenario where China's quantity advantage offsets the United States' quality edge. Meanwhile, the J-20's capabilities continue to evolve. A new variant, the J-20A, features a distinctive raised dorsal hump and upgraded avionics. Most significantly, a prototype has taken flight powered by 2 WS-15 engines, a long-awaited milestone that promises to elevate the J-20's performance. These enhancements could potentially push the aircraft into what some describe as a 5.5 generation category. In May 2024, China's deployment of J-20s to high-altitude bases in Tibet, less than 100 miles from Indian territory, raised tensions along the border as India responded by bolstering its defenses with upgraded air bases and advanced missile systems like the S-400. This strategic positioning of China's most advanced fighter jet has led many to question the broader implications for regional stability. As these dragons take to the skies in increasing numbers, alarm bells are likely to continue ringing throughout the international community. The J-20's rapid development and deployment reveal much about China's broader military ambitions and its determination to challenge American dominance in the skies. Across the jagged peaks of Tibet, a distinctive thrum echoes through the thin air. A sleek helicopter appears, its silhouette oddly familiar yet subtly different. This is China's Harbin Z20, a rotorcraft that has raised eyebrows and concerns across the Western world for its uncanny resemblance to the iconic American Black Hawk. The story of the Z-20 began in 1984 when China acquired 24 Sikorsky S-70 Black Hawks from the United States. These aircraft were intended to bolster China's high-altitude capabilities, but they became much more. A blueprint for future ambitions. When the Tiananmen Square incident in 1989 led to arms embargoes, cutting off China's access to additional Black Hawks, Beijing's engineers didn't miss a beat. They set about the complex task of meticulous study and reimagining of American designs. The fruits of their labor took flight on December 23, 2013, when the first Z-20 prototype lifted off. To the untrained eye, it might have been mistaken for its American counterpart, but closer inspection reveals a host of subtle yet significant differences. The Z-20 sports a 5-bladed main rotor, unlike the Black Hawk's 4, promising reduced vibration and improved performance. Its fuselage features a more angular design, particularly at the tail, hinting at efforts to enhance lift and cabin capacity. Chinese officials haven't been shy about touting the Z-20's capabilities. Deng Jinghui, the chief designer, boldly proclaimed on state television that their creation has, quote, surpassed the Black Hawk. He cited advanced technologies such as fly-by-wire flight controls and sophisticated noise reduction systems, features he claims firmly established the Z-20 as a fourth-generation rotorcraft. But it's not just talk. The Z-20's versatility is evident in its rapidly expanding family of variants. From the basic transport model to the Z-20F naval version, China is adapting the platform for a wide range of missions. Most recently, images have surfaced of an armed assault variant, tentatively identified as the Z-20W. This version sports stub wings for weapons and an electro-optical targeting pod, signaling China's ambition to create a multi-role combat helicopter. The Z-20's emergence has sent ripples through the international defense community. Its ability to operate at high altitudes gives China a significant advantage in the mountainous regions along its borders. More concerning for some analysts is the speed at which China has managed to not only replicate, but potentially improve upon Western technology. As the Z-20 continues to evolve and proliferate, its impact on the balance of power in Asia becomes increasingly significant. The aircraft's rapid development and deployment showcase China's drive to compete with and improve upon Western rotary wing designs. The United States and its allies now face the task of reassessing their strategies in light of this new challenger in the skies. With China demonstrating its ability to rapidly advance its military capabilities, Western powers may need to accelerate their own development programs to maintain their technological edge. With each rotation of the Z-20's blades, the gap in rotary wing capabilities between East and West narrows. As the Harbin Z-20 takes its place in China's military arsenal, it stands as a symbol of the country's growing technological prowess and its ambitions on the world stage. On the decks of China's aircraft carriers, a new fighter flexes its wings. The Shenyang J-15, nicknamed the Flying Shark, represents China's ambitious leap into carrier-based fighter technology. But this shark's DNA tells a complex tale of technological appropriation and determined innovation. The J-15's story begins not in China, but in the hangars of the former Soviet Union. In the late 1990s, as the USSR's once mighty military-industrial complex lay in disarray, China seized an opportunity. Through a series of covert deals and strategic acquisitions, Beijing obtained an unfinished prototype of the Sukhoi Su-33, the Soviet Navy's carrier-based fighter. This prize, secured from Ukraine, became the foundation for China's carrier aviation dreams. Engineers at the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation set about the painstaking task of adapting the Su-33, born from a Soviet prototype, reborn through Chinese innovation. The result was the J-15, a fighter that bears an uncanny resemblance to its Russian progenitor, but with distinctly Chinese characteristics. The Flying Shark made its public debut in 2012, landing on the deck of China's first aircraft carrier, the Liaoning, itself a refurbished Soviet-era vessel. This moment marked China's entry into the elite club of nations capable of carrier-based aviation operations, a milestone that sent ripples through defense circles worldwide. However, the J-15's journey has been far from smooth sailing. Early versions of the aircraft were plagued by technical issues, with reports of crashes and mechanical failures tarnishing its reputation. The jet's considerable weight, a legacy of its Soviet-era design, posed particular challenges for operations from China's ski-jump-equipped carriers. Despite these setbacks, China has persevered in refining the J-15. Recent developments have seen the integration of indigenous WS-10 Taihang engines, replacing the original Russian-made power plants. This shift not only demonstrates China's growing confidence in its domestic aerospace industry, but also frees the country from reliance on foreign suppliers for critical components. The latest iterations of the J-15, including the J-15B variant, boast significant upgrades. Enhanced avionics, improved radar systems, and the ability to carry more advanced weaponry have breathed new life into the platform. China claims these improvements elevate the J-15 to a 4.5 generation fighter, capable of holding its own against contemporary Western designs. Yet, questions remain about the J-15's true capabilities. While Chinese state media tout its superiority over American fighters like the F/A-18 Super Hornet, Western analysts remain skeptical. The lack of catapult launch systems on China's current carriers limits the J-15's payload and range, potentially putting it at a disadvantage in any confrontation with U.S. Navy aircraft. As China continues to expand its carrier fleet, including the recent launch of its first catapult-equipped carrier, the Fujian, the role of the J-15 is evolving. The Flying Shark's tale is one of perseverance, ingenuity, and strategic opportunism. From its origins as a copy of a Soviet design to its current status as the backbone of China's naval air arm, the J-15 embodies China's aspiration to challenge Western dominance in naval aviation. The Flying Shark's evolution signals a new era of competition in carrier-based aviation. As tensions simmer in the South China Sea and beyond, the sight of J-15s launching from Chinese carriers serves as a potent reminder of the shifting balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. Circling high above China's latest naval behemoth, an oddly familiar shape catches the eye. The Xi'an KJ-600, China's latest foray into carrier-based early warning and control aircraft, mirrors its American counterpart with eerie precision. This twin-propeller, quad-tail aircraft demonstrates China's commitment to closing the gap in carrier-based early warning capabilities. But it also raises questions about the fine line between inspiration and imitation. The KJ-600's development is intrinsically linked to China's ambitious carrier program. As the People's Liberation Army Navy plan prepares to launch its first catapult-equipped carrier, the Fujian, it requires a sophisticated eye in the sky to maximize its combat effectiveness. Enter the KJ-600, a platform designed to provide critical surveillance, threat detection, and battlefield management capabilities. First spotted in flight tests in 2020, the KJ-600 has quickly become a subject of intense speculation and analysis. Its high-wing design, rotating radar dome, and overall configuration echo the tried-and-true layout of the E-2 Hawkeye, a staple of U.S. carrier operations for decades. This similarity has not gone unnoticed, with some Western analysts accusing China of once again copying American technology. However, Chinese officials and some independent experts argue that the KJ-600's resemblance to the Hawkeye is more a case of convergent evolution than outright replication. They point out that the basic configuration of a carrier-based early warning aircraft is dictated by the harsh operational environment and mission requirements, leading to similar solutions across different nations. Regardless of its origins, the KJ-600 represents a significant leap forward for China's naval aviation capabilities. Powered by domestically produced WJ-6C turboprop engines, the aircraft is expected to carry an advanced active electronically scanned array, or ESA, radar system. This technology would allow it to detect and track multiple air and surface targets simultaneously, providing a crucial edge in any potential conflict. As of mid-2023, reports suggest that at least 6 KJ-600 prototypes are in various stages of testing. While there's no visual confirmation of the aircraft undergoing catapult launch or arrested recovery tests, such trials are likely ongoing behind the veil of China's strict military secrecy. The introduction of the KJ-600 could dramatically enhance the plan's ability to project power far from China's shores. By providing long-range surveillance and coordinating carrier air operations, it would serve as a force multiplier, extending the reach and effectiveness of China's carrier strike groups. Yet challenges remain. The KJ-600's compact size necessitated by carrier operations may limit its endurance and radar range compared to larger land-based systems. Additionally, integrating such a complex platform into China's evolving carrier doctrine will require time and experience. As the KJ-600 progresses towards operational status, it serves as a potent symbol of China's growing military sophistication and its ambition to challenge U.S. naval supremacy in the Pacific. Whether viewed as a copy or a logical evolution of aircraft design, its emergence signals a new chapter in the ongoing competition between great powers. As the KJ-600 extends the reach of China's carrier forces, the strategic calculus in the Pacific enters uncharted territory. The sight of KJ-600S launching from Chinese carriers in the coming years will undoubtedly send ripples through defense establishments worldwide. It represents not just a new aircraft, but a statement of intent. China is determined to field a world-class navy, complete with all the tools of modern carrier warfare.